Now we will start our part 2, our 10 energy movements. We will still do the level 1 of the 10 energy movements. After we've done the level 1, today I'm going to begin to teach you the level 2 of the energy movements. But we will start with level 1. Ho! 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 Now let's go and get your water, right? And let's have some warm water. So I have this idea that eventually I would like to just kind of guide you through, because traditional Chinese medicine, especially the tradition that I am in, which we have 1500 years of tradition, and it's such a comprehensive and beautiful and yet very simple, very practical medical system that can guide you through life. Is not just help you to balance your health, but also help you through this type of medicine, through this lifestyle, you shall find truth. So that's been said, is that if I could share the knowledge that I have, that, well, you see, my challenge, well, one of my challenges is that how do we translate this ancient knowledge this Eastern knowledge into Western world, into modern society. Because over the years, we say 道不远人, like the truth is never far from us. It's we walk far away from the truth further and further. But how do we translate that, and that will make sense to people? Well, I haven't figured it out. If you have, just let me know. But I would give a try and see, because I've been practicing medicine for many years, but in Western world, that not just me, but many generations before me, and they have practiced in different part of the world. And I've been really doing a lot of just how to translate, transform that medicine into daily use. Because it is not just can benefit people in the East, but I do believe this type of medicine really, it's a given, it's a gift, right? It gives to us. It really helps us to understand who we are. So that's been said, that I am trying to make an attempt to go through, to take you to this beautiful form of medicine. Beautiful. It's so, well, I am just very passionate about it. But it is really, if you start to know what I know, you will have nothing but love and admiration about this medicine. So I would want to teach you from head to the toe, right? We'll go through step by step, not just your physical, your psychological health, but also the spiritual part as well. So if we can go through that, and that is something that Sarah, we said we're going to eventually write a book about. So you're all just working with me, and you are my critiques, you're my editors, you're my just kind of sounding board. So if we can have this continued conversation, and I will tell you what I know, and you will help me to make it really relevant to all of you. And that, I think, my friends, is going to be beautiful. But that's been said. So last year, the whole year, I've been doing the step 1 of the 10 energy movements. So I think there are 4 types of basic nourishing life Qigong energy movements that eventually I will want to teach you all. So that is, one is, we call it Yi Jin Jing. Yi Jin Jing is really how you strengthen your tendon, your fascia system. And Wu Qin Xi is 5 animals, that how we learn from the essence of the animal movements. And that will really help us to have a better flow with ourselves, right? And how to gain flexibility. And 六字真言, and that is how to chant, and how each sound that create a better health for us, and what each sound means. And 八段锦 is the 8 supposedly 8 simple movements. The 10 energy movement really is, I put the number 1 Yi Jin Jing, some movements from Yi Jin Jing, and 八段锦, the 8 simple movements together, because the first year, what I want to do is to help people to build up a better movement, right? So you are able to move the way that we want you to move. Now, after the whole year of practice, we all can move pretty good now. So then I am going to move to teach you how to do it properly. So as you can see today, when I did the energy movements, I didn't really go through what is that good for, right? Because I want to just teach step by steps. And so when we do the movements, then we will focus on our energy. When we focus on, that's what we're supposed to do, is the energy movements, right? So now let's start with our level 2. Level 2 is really professional, right? It's professional movements. That means our muscles, our tendons are flexible enough to do this round of more advanced learning. So we will start with the first movement. First movement, we already know how to, and now it's just more advanced version of it. But if you feel you're not flexible enough yet, don't push it. You can just continue to do what you have learned the last year. There's no need to push. Okay. So the first movement is called 双手. 双手 is 2 hands, 2 arms. 双手. 托天 is that you reach sky. 里三焦 means you balance your fascia system. Your fascia, that's a part of your lymph as well. And that is one of the most important system in traditional Chinese medicine. So when we first start, we want the yin that is left is always the yin. The right is always the yang. So we want yin yang jiao hui. How to do yin yang jiao hui? You start with dan tian. Dan tian is find your belly button and 3 fingers, your own fingers down. Then you find the point, dan tian. Dan tian is a very important point. It is one of the major intersection point of energy. So, in Kung Fu movies, you see when people kick, they kick your dantian, right? That is very mean. That is deadly. But try not to. Don't do that to each other. Okay. So find your dantian. You need to really protect that point, and then your yin, yang. We call the intersection, right? Together, you push the energy up from dantian up slowly to tanzhong. Now you have reached your tanzhong, right? And push up and turn. And now your hands, this part need to be really flat, right? And then move your head. Just make sure you look directly forward. There we go. Excellent. See, what we're doing, the first movements, is that we are balancing the whole sanjiao. Sanjiao is triple burner. That's our fascia system. Fascia system is one of the most important systems. Fascia system cannot have stagnation. So by doing that, we are opening up a lot of people, right? Your 下焦, that's your intestines, and your kidney, your bladder, and your reproductive organ systems. You are doing that, you are massaging your 下焦. And we only say, oh, I massage you, it feels good. What do you think about our internal system, our internal organs? By doing that, we are using the energy to massage 下焦 and go to 中焦, that's the middle burner, right? And then go into 上焦. And then we use our head, we look up. Again, that is very important. That's 10, the heaven. We respect the heaven. We realize our responsibilities as a person. We show our bowing, our respect to our Mother Earth. So that's your head, right? By doing that, you also have moved your 大椎. 大椎 is one of the very important points, right here. That's your dual meridian line, right? Your dual meridian line. And then when you put your arms up like that, you hold it, right? You hold it, you have that kind of strength to pull up. It's like you are pushing the sky up, right? You are pushing the sky up, and then you should feel the tightness, you should feel this dual meridian lines, this, your spine got massaged. So you are, by doing that, you are holding the energy up, you are exercising your neck, you look, and right, that's the energy movement, right? And then the other thing is that by doing that, we are strengthening our, let's say, if people, a lot of people, they have, we call 中气下陷. 中气下陷, they come in our clinic. How many times I have moved up people's uterus, bladder, literally, because this is your fascia wall, right? A lot of times when people do not have holding energy, and that drag down. And when people have either constipation or frequent urination or loose stool, that part of the reason is that their intestines is not being moved correctly, right? Their body fluid is not moving correctly, and this will help. And how many people that, let's say if you have, oh, I just can't hold my pee, I have to pee, then you do this movement, you do 6 times, you do 6 times, you do 18 times, that will help to move your energy up, because your energy, your energy, your qi can't hold it. So by moving it, you are trying to pull it up to create a holding energy. And then the other thing is that if people have, they cannot carry through their pregnancy, or they have a hard time to get pregnant, so what do? This is a part of that movement as well, because you are, by doing that, you are massaging your ovaries as well, you're massaging your uterus, right? By the energy will do that. So by doing this energy, right, by doing this movement, that will achieve all of that. That will achieve all of that. And then the other trick I teach you is that, you see, in Kung Fu, you see sometimes people have this, they do this, right? And when they practice, what are they doing? What is it they're doing? This is a switch. When you try to strengthen yin energy, that's the mother energy, that when you come down from this, when you do this, right, you are opening up your yin energy. You are strengthening your yin energy. When you do this, you are opening up yang energy, right? So you see, this is the opening. This is the switch you have. Isn't that your body is just amazing? So you see, when it comes down, we are saying we're strengthening our yin energy, create yang energy. That's the balance, right? So that's the first movement. Yin, this is the part of yin. The left side always is your yin side. The right side is your yang side. Yin yang jiao hui. Make them together. The unity, the interaction, and then slowly bring the energy up slowly, right? And then look up as much as you can, hold it up, middle, right? And I'm strengthening my yin energy, right? You see my hands, top, you see my hands. Now I'm close my yin, I'm open up in my yang. I am doing here on my dantian again. So the homework for you to do this month or this 3 weeks until next time I teach you the second movement is I want you to master this movement. So you know what this is good for now, right? If people have, let's say, if they have frequent urination, if they have 下焦, the intestinal problems, this will help. If they have 中焦, a lot of people have burping, a lot of people have stomach inflammation, that will help as well. And then move to 上焦. If people have depression, if people feel anxious, and this will help as well. If you have a neck problem, right, and you want to exercise, last time we said, if you want to exercise your lymph, this is your lymph, the mother lymph, the mother lymph, the mother lymph, and doing this movements, because this is focus on 三焦. 三焦 is your fascia system and your lymph system. Good. So that is the first movement of our advanced 八段锦, the first of our advanced 八段锦. So now let's go to our second part of the teaching. So before I move on to the next one, any questions? Should I just move to the next part, Sarah?
Actually, Dr. Liu, I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind. We were not able to see your lower body. Are you standing on your tiptoes? Like, should we be trying to stretch as much as possible?
So you see, when you make that interaction, right, intersection here, and your legs naturally bend, when you move up, and that your leg becomes straight, right? And then when you push up, your legs is straight, right? And then you just, the leg movements is naturally bend, up, bend, up. That's the leg movements. Shoulder width.
So feet
your
stay.
leg shoulder width.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. Sorry about that. So your feet stay pretty rooted on the ground.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I am deeply rooted. I tree like a tree.
Yes, you are always deeply rooted. Another quick question for you, Dr. Liu. Is there a modified version of this movement for someone who might have balance issues? Could they do this seated, and could you demonstrate that for us, or what would be a modified version of this movement?
So if people, let's say, if they cannot, if they feel more comfortable of sitting, and you can sit however the way you like, right? And then ideally you will sit like this. But if you cannot, and if you sit like this is fine. If you cannot, you sit however you want, however the way you want. And then you just do the top part, and that will help. That will help.
That is excellent. Thank you. We actually have a request if you could just do the entire movement just one more time before we move on.
Okay. Legs, shoulder width, bend naturally. yin and yang, dantian, slowly move up. Turn your hands, look up, put your head straight, look forward, hold this, make sure the hands is touching your hands, touching the sky. Slowly make a yin-yang circle. Meet at the dantian again. Slowly move up. Look up. Hold the sky. Move your head forward. Hold it for 3 seconds. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Okay. So now let's move to our from head to the toe. So when we start, we gotta start with our head. Before we start with our head, well, we gotta talk about hair. So hair actually plays a very important role. Hairstyles and hair play a very important role in a cultural sense. See, the old times that before we call that actually before Dayu is 7,000 years back, that if you, let's say, if you committed a crime, and that one, well, because the ancient people, they do not cut their hair, right? They use different ways, they have different hairstyle to present how ready they are as adult. So I will explain that a little bit later. But the old times, 7,000 years back, if you committed a crime, so what one of the punishment is what is we call that 宽刑. 宽刑 is that to shave your head, and to shave your head, and then you will be staying home, but not with your mother, not with your father. You're going to be with your uncle, with your mother's brother. I'll tell you a story I thought is quite interesting. So you are going to be with your mother's brother. You're going to study, you're going to work. You're not going to see anybody. You're going to be with your uncle until your hair fully grows. So that, well, that at least will take a year, I think, that, but if you recommit that crime, and then you're going to be shaved again until you are completely shaved head to you have the long hair. They said century is 1 meter, is quite long, and until that hair is that long, you are going to be with your uncle and work for him. So until today, China have this tradition that they says that after when the new year start, until the 2nd month of this new year, that is, the dragon will raise the head. During this period of time, you are not supposed to have a haircut. If you do, your uncle will die. So that is a weird tradition to say, really? I will curse my uncle if I have a haircut. But where did that tradition come from? I think what it comes from is that because your uncle is the one who disciplined you in old times, it's supposed to, the pronunciation is 思旧. 思 is you supposed to think what you have done. So that 思旧, that is almost the same pronunciation as 死旧, uncle dead. 思旧, think what you have done. So I think over the years, a lot of youngsters have, have some kind of resentment of their uncles because they discipline them. So they kind of slowly make up the tradition. But this is one of the old punishment that you got a shaved head, stay with your uncle until your hair is 3 meters. It's 1 meter long, right? So, and then from that tradition, that we know that how do we identify, let's say, if someone is ready to be adult. And Sarah, I want to show you a picture of that young man, the one that has a jade zan on the top of it. Can you show them? Yes. So you see that zan, you see on top of that, that means you have become a man. The childish behaviors has to change. Now you are a man. That also means that the healers, the local healers, have checked your testicles. You are good to marry. So the day 16, you will, local doctor, local healer will come, will check your testicles, and we'll see if you can perform. If you can, they will give you a zan. They will tell you you are no longer a child. You are a man. You must take responsibility. So that is before Qing. This is the hairstyle. And throughout history, this is the basic hairstyle the ancient men have. Until Qing dynasty, and then the man's hairstyle has changed. Now let's show the Kung Fu. Yeah. So if you see, he has a long, just one braid right down. So what does that mean, this hairstyle? What does that mean? It means that in Qing dynasty, Qing were Manchus, we're not a part of Han. So we want to get to clear up all these other challenges to become the rulers, oneness with Han. So that's what it means. That means I will come and get you, basically. So that's what Qing dynasty, the last dynasty of China, that's what the haircut, what the hairstyle means, right? We either tell the world before that I am ready to take responsibility, or we have this goal to say, hey, I may be a small nation, but I'll come and get you. And they actually did. So that's a part of, I just thought it's a part of the interesting story. And now let's look at my hair. See, so that means that in monastery you have a shaved head. I didn't shave my head. I have a little bit, I have very short head. That means get rid of your obsession. Be humble and let go of your obsession. So that's what it means. So now let's look at women's hair. Let's look at that girl's hair. Yes. So you see this young woman before, throughout history, and we know by looking at her, we know she's a girl. She hasn't had her period yet. She's not ready for marriage because you see her hairstyle. It's that the 2 braid and then a flower. So now when we see the other one, we'll know this woman, this young woman is ready. Let's show me the other one. Yes. So as you can see that once the hair is get up, you know, you pull your hair up, you have sun, she has 2. That means she is in 2nd year having her regular menstrual cycle. She is ready for marriage. The 1st year, everybody is watching, right? If you have only 1 sun, you see she has 2. That means she's ready to, you know, people can, we have Maple, we have the matchmakers will come to your family because they know the local healers, they will come when you first have your first period, they will come and they will look at the color, they will look at your pulse and they will say, okay, so they will give you, they will decide if you are ready to get your hair up and put 1, and then, but they don't want to marry yet, they want to wait until you have 2 or more. So that means, so this is part of the, this is the part of the hairstyle, what that means, right? So now you can show me your hairstyle and tell me what it means. But anyways, so in traditional Chinese medicine, that when we look at your hair, when you come to the clinic, the first thing I look at is I look at your hair when you come in, and part of the observation when you sit in front of me and I go from up down, I look at your hair. So what I'm looking, right? So hair represent what organ systems? One, we say hair is a flower of your kidneys, right? 发为肾, your kidney, 之花, the flowers of your kidneys. So if people have really dry hair, that means their kidney system is weak. Or if they lose their hair, right? If people says, oh, you know, I am really lately, I'm losing my hair. And then we'll look at it, is it only on the top or is it all over? If you lose your hair all over, then we know we need to strengthen your kidney system. So that's one. And then the other thing is the hair, we say hair also represent your liver system. 血瘀, 血 is blood. In traditional Chinese medicine, liver controls the quality of your blood. So if you have really good, if your hair have natural growth, right? And then we know that your liver system is working really well. So yu is it's really what can be used. It's abundance of the liver blood, right? And then if one's hair really grows really fast, then we know. Then you see, if people have anemia, right? If they have anemia, they have their hair doesn't really grow much, and they have the quality of the hair is very bad. So then you have, you know, from the hair, now I know your kidney system, how your kidney system is, and now I know how your liver system, right, to look at the growth of the hair. So 血瘀is that the hair is also a medicine, right? 血瘀炭 is that if you, let's say, if you take your kid out, if you take somebody out, and then that somebody have a fall and break, you know, the skin and start to bleed, and so you don't have anything with you. So what you do is you just simply cut off a little bit of that person's hair, and then you burn it, you make it ashes, right? Make an ash out of it, and then you just put that on the broken skin. You know, let's say you have a cut, and that's what you just do. You put it there. That's it. That can stop bleeding, and that's called 鳕鱼炭. Is one of the ingredients in traditional Chinese medicine. And the reason I tell you this is that we carry our own medicine. You just don't know where to find it, right? So, so slowly, by just telling you, okay, so when you look at your hair, you can check your own kidneys. I take that back. Let me check it, because a lot of you, if I tell you something, you begin to panic. That's the weak part of the kidneys. Oh no, I don't have enough hair. So you know, the hair is a flower of your kidney system. It also shows if you have a good liver system. But if people have either too oily hair, or they have dander, is that what you call dander? Yeah, Sarah? If you have like those white little things, dander, hair dander?
Yeah, dandruff, like dry scalp.
Yes. So then you know that if you have too oily hair, that means your liver and spleen need to be balanced. If you have too dry hair or too tender hair, that means your kidney and your spleen, your spleen and your lungs, that need to be balanced. So by looking at that, by looking at this, then we know what we are looking for. And then the other thing is, we have lately, the past 5 or 10 years, we have treated a lot of people with alopecia. Alopecia really is a stress related. So when people says, oh, you know, I have alopecia here and there, that's just stress related. That really causes stagnation in different part of the system. It depends on which part you lose your hair, and then we can balance that. This is your due meridian line, and this, well, I'm not going to go into the details, but it depends on which part of the head that you lose hair. Then we know the related systems, the organ system, need to be balanced. So so this is the basic ideas of hair, right? If people, let's say, if they want to, if they only lose hair in the middle, and then we strengthen your liver system. If they lose hair all over, then we basically strengthen your spleen and strengthen your kidney system. So if you just give yourself a check, if you lose less than 100 hair a day, that is just normal, right? Don't worry about it. But if you feel lately you've been losing hair and here and there, then just come to us, and we have herbs we can give you. We also can give you some treatment. But when you do self-check, and these are the things we are checking. So, and the other thing is very important is that how do you strengthen if you want to have really gorgeous, beautiful hair? So what do? And there are some basic tricks that you can do that can help with the quality of your hair. One, work on your stress level. That really is one of the fundamental keys of this. And two, that get a comb. Okay, you see, I have a comb, and ideally, and this is a special tool, you won't be able to get this one, but ideally you will get a wooden comb, right? And then you will comb your hair. Remember, you comb not randomly, right? You can comb from the middle to the back, okay? And then you can go left to cover your left side, and then go to your right side, right? And just comb gently from your hairline and work your way back. You can use a comb And you can also use your finger. Use your fingers. You use your fingers, you comb your hair like this from the front to the back. That will open up these meridian lines. That will help to promote healthy meridian lines or healthy hair growth, right? So now you know this, right? And use a comb, your fingers, or get a pair of walnuts, right? And then you can also use walnuts, especially if you have kidney weakness, right? And if you have liver weakness, kidney weakness, or you just want to do that. And these are the basic exercise you can do. And then the second thing, which is you do not, when you sleep, you let your hair relax, right? You do not hide your hair, right? You let it relax. If you have hair, a lot of hair, you just let it go wild, right? The hair in the 9 times should not be suppressed. You do your exercise, you release your stress, you do not suppress your hair during the night. And then the last thing, which is important, is you do not sleep with a wet hair. That is a must, because then you will create dampness in your system. You will create hearing loss or ringing in your ears, or headaches. So these are the basic things we do with our hair. Okay, I'll leave a little bit time for questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. Dr. Liu, I want to just say it's just so nice to be with you again on Sundays. We've missed you the last couple of weeks, so thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Unfortunately, we are actually over our time limit, but if I may ask you, I would love to chat about one more thing. I'm going to see if I can get a share screen here. Since you alluded to the new year earlier, I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about some tips for welcoming the year, maybe some traditions that you like to do.
You see, we have the past 2 years that has been quite a trying time. So in my tradition, we always follow the 3 steps, right? And, again, I like to always proudly say that in our clinic, we haven't lost anybody to COVID, and we don't have one severe case. We have very detailed protocols to follow, but what 3 steps that I follow to guide you all through this? One is, we call that B, is that I stay away from the first wave and then I do my observation, right? So, and then before that, you should always follow the rules that please always be prepared, right? We say if you are thirsty, then you start digging a well. And if your enemy is outside your castle and you start to make a weapon, isn't that a little too late? What that means is that I encourage all of you to really balance your immune system, right? Like get your body as well as you can. So that is a basic preparation we all need to do. And that will be a continued doing, and we'll do that together. So, and then the first step is really that once we did that observation, the second step is we call 学而习之. 学 is we study the cases, 习 is we practice, right? And we give you herbs, and we reduce your stagnation, we cleared up your inflammation. We will continue to do that. Third, we're on the third step is 泰然处之, is that be calm, don't panic, be calm, and we will live with it. Because now we are in this phase. We know We have to live with it with mindfulness. So this new year, and I believe it's going to be a year of stability, but stability always creates change. That's how in traditional Chinese medicine we think, right? Stability, that when you see a dangerous situation, you see opportunity. When you see something very stable, then you get to prepare for the next one, the next move. So I do believe this year we all can take a deep breath, right? And do not stress yourself too much, because then you will really just make your immune system is not going to work as well it should. Just relax a little bit, go and enjoy life. Always remember, life is there to be enjoyed with mindfulness and with calmness and kindness, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. We've taken too much of your time today. Thank you, and Happy New Year to you and to all of our participants today.
Happy New Year.